strangled them, and finally dismembered their bodies.
Right.
Then do and homelessness and all that.
And now, the voice you've been waiting for.
There is a secret song at the center of the world, and its sound is like razors through flesh. I'm here to turn up the volume.
Well, I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. I remember 2 years ago I was drinking at my bar on the 4th, and a friend of mine came up to me and said, happy 4th of July. And I said, yeah, for all the problems this country has, there isn't anywhere on earth I'd rather live. And he looked at me and he said, me too. And I'm Canadian. I wanted to make a fairly short video this week, just wishing everybody a happy 4th, and also to talk about the speech that Xi Jinping gave in China the other day to mark the 100th anniversary of the Communist Party. It has gotten a little bit of attention on the news. They talked about the part where he said that they were going to bash bloody the heads of any foreign nation that tried to bully them. Bash their head bloody against the steel wall of communism. And everybody just reported that and just shrugged their shoulders like, well, what are you going to do? That's our trading partner. This is the kind of rhetoric that if it came from, Vladimir Putin or even the U.S. president, it would be kind of a big deal, but, it's Xi, whatever. And the reason is probably because, a lot of the corporate partners they have see China as a huge market. And it's not China or even the Chinese people I have a problem with, because they're captured. They can't do anything. Under their wonderful system, it's illegal for them to even complain about the system, something that people in this country take for granted. And every time they hear somebody criticize something in a harsh way that they don't like, they think, oh God, you shouldn't be allowed to say that. But when you see what things are like in a place where you literally can't say things that the government doesn't like, you see why it's so fucking important to have that freedom of speech. I mean, this is part of the reason why there's so many dumb fuck kids running around talking about they want us to be a communist country. They just didn't learn anything about it. They have no idea. A lot of these kids couldn't tell you what the hell we even celebrate the 4th of July for. Oh, it's the Independence Day. Okay, but what happened? What did we do?
What country did we declare independence from to create this great country?
Oh God. This is bad. This is bad of me.
What year was the Declaration of Independence signed?
1856.
When Lee Harvey Oswald and Karl Marx signed the Declaration of Independence to start this great country, what year was that?
I'm assuming the 1800s.
I don't remember, honestly.
No.
No.
Could you guess?
Can I guess? Maybe 1815? Does that sound right?
When Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh signed the Declaration of Independence, what year was that?
I don't know.
Did you go to history class?
Yeah, and I aced it, but I don't remember most stuff.
What year did we declare independence from a certain country a long time ago to start the 4th of July?
1796, right? I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Did you go to school?
I did.
Go back when the Declaration of Independence was signed. What year was that?
1782.
What country famously broke away from England in the late 1700s to start their own country?
From England?
Yeah.
Great Britain?
No, England is Great Britain.
Okay, I don't know. I have no idea.
You're standing on it.
The U.S.?
Yes! What country famously broke away from England in the late 1700s to start their own country?
I don't know.
No.
Which one?
You don't know? It starts with a U.
The Ukraine?
No.
Yugoslavia?
The United
States of America.
Yeah, and it started what year? It was 4th of July.
Oh, that's a good question.
Started when? It's commemorating the 4th of July of what year?
Good question. I'm not too sure on that.
No.
Yeah.
You see people, slogans, people have shirts with it.
Right.
It's like a rallying cry for freedom.
Right.
What is it? What year?
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Why?
They know all this shit about Marxism and all this stuff that they think is great because they think that what we have here is capitalism. And nobody ever taught them the difference between capitalism and corporatism, or even the difference between communism and what they actually end up getting in places like China, North Korea, Cuba, Venezuela. I mean, if you want to say that China is communist, explain to me why they have more billionaires than the U.S. does. If it's a communist country, riddle me that. There is no such thing as a communist country or a capitalist country. These are ideologies, these are principles, but we don't live in a capitalist country. You look at a lot of the problems that we do have in this country, and people try to blame that on capitalism, but that's because that's supposedly what we have. It's more of a corporatism, and at times very fascistic kind of corporatism. But you have the government picking winners and losers and deciding who can do what through regulation, taxation, and that is not capitalism. That is not a free market. And how it is that, an ideology like communism with its kumbaya, everybody will have an equal share kind of concept, and explaining what it actually turns into when it hits the real world, because that's always the idea they sell people on is, oh, it's going to be great. We're not going to need to own everything. We'll all share in the fruits of our labor. And unfortunately, shit ain't like that. Never has been and never will be, but they'll still be able to keep getting kids to buy into it and think, oh, we should try that because, on paper it sounds like a good idea. I know when I was going through school, we never learned shit about communism or even socialism. And this was when the Cold War was still technically going on. But we just didn't learn about it. And even after the Cold War ended, we still don't learn about it. You don't teach kids why it was. We just teach them that we didn't like communists and communism is bad, but you don't even teach what it is and why it's bad. When you teach kids to just reject something without understanding what it is, then kids rebel towards it. So maybe, just maybe, the answer isn't ad hominem attacks and calling people libtards or commies, but actually talking about the reason why you have a problem with it and the reason why it's better to have a free market and an open society where you have the ability to question things. Just a thought. Sláinte.
All I have in this world is my thoughts and my word, and I don't break them for no one. You understand? So say good night. So say good night to the bad guy. So say good night. So say good night to the bad guy. So say good night. So say good night to the bad guy. So say good night. So say good night to the bad guy. Come on. Come on. night.